The presidency has explained why 1,411 Nigerian delegates accompanied President Bola Tinubu to the ongoing COP28 climate summit holding in Dubai. According to the senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Temitope Ajayi, not all Nigerians at the event were sponsored by the federal government. In the article titled Nigeria at COP28, Separating the Facts from Fiction, Ajayi said the Nigerian delegation includes business leaders, environmentalists, climate activists, and journalists. To discuss this, we're joined by Jide, a public affairs analyst. Good to see you. Thank you for giving us your time. This conversation has dominated all the media space all day. I want your perspective, your reaction to the responses of the federal government. On the one hand, the media aid has responded, and then we had a detailed statement from the Minister of Information clarifying that it was less than 500 people on the payroll of under sponsorship from the federal government. What's your thinking on this?
Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak on this issue. I think, I want to commend the federal government for coming out to shed light on what actually transpired. Over the weekend, we had 1,411, which is the same size as that of China, only smaller than that of UAE, the host. But yes, the presidency has come out to say we only sponsor 422, and that many of those alleged to have been on that trip or are not there, or that they are self-sponsored. But whatever it is, let's look at the breakdown. Why is the separation from the presidency and the office of the vice president? Do we need this number of contingents to even go to for COP28? About 422, if I'm not mistaken, that was alleged or officially said to be on that team. What are the responsibilities of these people? We have 40 members from the National Assembly. We have 176 or thereabout across the MDAs. We have presidency, then we have vice president's office. For me, whether it's 422 or 1,411, in as much as many of those who are on this trip has no specific responsibility for being there, I think it is reprehensible. It's a jamboree. It's needless. I mean, look at the budget 2024. We are talking of close to 9 trillion budget deficit. And you are going to Dubai for 13 days with this huge number of people, many of whom are just going to shop. They are just going shopping. It's Christmas period. So it's an opportunity for them to go shop for Christmas.
What worries you for a government?
Many of these people has no responsibility. They have no tasks to perform, and they are just there for purposes of collecting extra votes.
Jide, let me interject so we can focus this conversation. What worries you when a government comes in and says, we're going to cut the cost of governance, and then you see something like this, and then there is the response from the government justifying, I mean, the minister did say that it was imperative that they have proper representative, considering the position of Nigeria in Africa as a whole, not just West Africa. So what's your thinking as to the response from the government to the concerns being raised by Nigerians, describing the event, the delegation like you have, as a jamboree?
For me, my sister, the point that has to be made is the extrapolation between our budget, the cost of governance, and what we are seeing with Tinubu administration. Under Buhari, we saw similar scenario playing out, hunger, UN General Assembly, COP28, whatever, you see huge delegation. Many of these people are not attending any of the meetings. They are not making any presentations. They are not having any values. It's not like they are going to be taking note. All they do is that they just go there for purpose of collecting extra quotes. In fact, there was a news report that says that the cost of flight on this trip alone is about 800 million naira. That's close to $1 billion. That's the cost of flying this huge delegate to Dubai. So for me, it does not portray us as a serious country, because all said and done, we are still going to go to China, go to World Bank, go to IMF, go to Afrexim Bank to borrow money. And they laugh at us and say, you people that said you don't have money to fix your infrastructure, you had one of the highest delegates. The population of US is about 300 million. The US did not send as many delegations to this COP28. Brazil, that is also a part of the G20, did not have this delegate. So on what basis are we sending this huge number? Even at 422, I maintain that it's still a jamboree. That delegate should not have been anything over 100. Max, 100. It's the president. Those who need to sign the agreement, make the Minister of Environment, Minister of Attorney General, Minister of Justice. Those are key people that are expected at this COP28.
There's a part to the question that you haven't addressed, Jide. There's a part to the question, and that's the government's response to the concerns being raised by citizens. Does it, for you, reflect the priorities of this government, or do you think there's a better way the federal government should have responded to the grievances of Nigerians who are describing this as a jamboree?
The response, like I said ab initio in my earlier comment, is that we appreciate the fact that they have come out to set the record straight, as we say in local parlance. But even at that, yes, it's appreciated that Minister of Information has issued a press statement and has cleared the air on the size of the delegate. But still, that does not lay to rest the concerns of average citizens like you and I, that this number is still on the high side, and that if we want to reduce cost of governance, something needs to be done for this kind of delegation in future. Yes, I agree that journalists have to be there to report on what went on. The key government officials, yes, but for majority of those who are there, and I need someone to fact check me on this. For majority, they have no tax, no responsibility beyond just collecting their extra costs and then go to the shopping malls and bring home all the latest technologies and the designs and fashions that the world can offer, and that is not reflecting the campus economy. Just a few days ago, the Governor Soludo of Anambra State said that Tinubu inherited a dead economy. Is it in a dead economy that we still have this size of delegates? This is indefensible.
Quite unfortunate.
I've read their statement, but despite this statement, I still believe that it did not do justice. The number of delegates, it did still not do justice to the prevailing economic climate in this country.
All right,
where a lot of people, 133 million Nigerians, are said to be multidimensionally poor. How can we have these people, this huge delegation, many of whom, or most of whom, has no business?
It is indeed a concerning development, like you've said. Thank you very much, Jide, for your time and your thoughts.
It's a pleasure. Have a great week ahead.
You too.